And that point of view is not far from the one of the Spanish Prime Minister, Mariano Rajoy, who was opposed to early elections in Catalonia. We're going to discuss this with our next guest, Alfred Bosch. Thank you very much for being with us. You're a member of Parliament from the ERC party, and you are candidate for the elections in Barcelona that will take place in May. First of all, that decision to hold elections in Catalonia, do you think it will unlock the political situation?
Yes, we think we were wishing for an agreement there in order to vote in a plebiscitary fashion to decide on the future of Catalonia, our country, and to further advance in the way to independence democratically. It doesn't surprise me. I'm afraid you got no real news from Mr. Aznar there. It was just the expected kind of discourse. We think that it's difficult to fit in Spain, in the Spanish state, with rulers such as that who don't even consider the possibility of letting people vote for their own future, like was done in Scotland a few months ago.
Do you think that the outcome of the referendum in Scotland changed the situation in Catalonia? The fact that Scotland rejected independence, did it change a lot of things on the ground in Catalonia?
Well, in a way, it did reinforce our message that people should be entitled to vote about their future. That was possible in Scotland. Why isn't it possible in Catalonia? We're both in Europe. We're both in the 21st century. We're not so different. We have the same right. We're not better than anybody, but we're not less than anybody else. So we have the right to vote. The fact that the no vote won in Scotland, the no to independence, also I think strengthens our point that the no is also possible in Catalonia. So to all those who oppose independence, we encourage them to go to the polls, to vote, to express their opinion, to convince other people and try and win their point.
The Spanish Prime Minister, Mariano Rajoy, is opposed to the independence process, and he says that you should focus on fighting the crisis instead of talking about independence.
We are doing it, but we also think that the closer we get to independence, the more power we will have to fight the crisis, the more resources we will have to fight the crisis. We think we're paying a very strong and heavy bill to remain in the Kingdom of Spain. So we think it's in our advantage to stop the tax drainage and to stop the amount of Spanish bureaucracy and political power which prevents Catalan people from even voting. It also stifles and puts obstacles in the way of a city like Barcelona, a very dynamic city, which would have much better facilities and infrastructures if it had a state behind it, supporting it.
Back in November, Artur Mas, the head of the Catalonian region, was forced to step back. He wanted to organize a referendum on the independence, and in the end it was just a vote but not an official referendum because it was declared anti-constitutional. Why something that wasn't possible in November would be possible in the future?
Well, because the Spanish government and Spanish power in general, including the courts, highly politicized courts, are trying to block the way for a vote on independence. So they'll use any possible mechanism to block that vote. They tried it in November the 9th. They're going to try it again. But this time what we did is call Catalan elections. The Catalan president, Mr. Mas, has the power to call for those elections and use those elections and transform them into a plebiscite on independence. That's something which nobody can deny, not even the Spanish government or the Spanish courts. So we have to be very creative. Catalan people are Mediterranean, talented people, we're very imaginative and creative. So we have to find ways around this blockage, this political and bureaucratic blockage of the Spanish government.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being with us out of Madrid this morning. Elections will take place in Catalonia on September 25, and before that in May, at the end of May, there will be elections for the city of Barcelona, and you are running for this election. Jeff, I send it back to you for now.
Excellent. Thanks so much for that. Let's move on. Let's talk